Hey guys, how you doing? I will tell you how I am doing. It's been a mixture of blistering hot and pouring rain this weekend where I am. So right now it is fucking humid and I am sweating my balls off. Other than that, I'm doing alright and I hope you are too. And it is time for the May 23rd Raw review. I'm sure I still have some leftover apologizing to do for missing the Raw review last week. So I hope you guys are not stringing me out too much in the court of public opinion, but here we go. Lawler opens the show, comes down to the ring, has a very brief, very polite, thank you to the crowd, a couple of sticks at Michael Cole, and then he thanks Bret Hart. Bret Hart comes out, talks about how great it is to be back in the WWE, etc., 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 gives the King his due, which I thought was really good. He's then interrupted by R-Truth, who comes down and says the only difference between him and Bret Hart and the only reason Bret Hart got title shots was because he gave his sunglasses to the kids in the crowd. So he took Bret Hart's sunglasses, put them on a kid in the crowd, and then took them back. Yeah, that's great stuff for building a heel. Anybody, like, the popularity of Bret Hart now that he's retired is untouchable. So yeah, bring out Bret Hart and have R-Truth go up against him. Instant heel heat, which is good for the R-Truth. Heel push, is it not? He's then interrupted by Cena, because, a good segment has to be ruined by Cena, because if we don't have 5 minutes without Cena on the screen, I'm pretty sure the rapture will actually come. So GM eventually beeps through and sets up R-Truth and CM Punk versus Rey Mysterio and John Cena, which I thought, my immediate thought was, okay, now we have the super team. We have Mysterio, who can never lose, except for last night, and we've got Cena, who can never lose. And to top it all off, we're going to have Bret Hart referee. I have no problem with that whatsoever. Bret Hart being at the pay-per-view last night and on the show tonight, like I said, marked out like a fiend, Canadian boy, all that. So there, we have our main event set for the show. They cut to the back where Big Show and Kane are sitting on Alberto Del Rio's car, and Ricardo Rodriguez tries to tell them off, and he gets shoved away really, really quite amusingly by the Big Show. And then Alberto Del Rio comes, yells at them in Spanish, which I'm going to talk about later in the video. But he yells at them like he's still yelling at them long, long after they've left. So, except for the Spanish-speaking population of the United States, nobody really cares, do they? So that's that. We come back from break. Kane and the Big Show have a title defense versus Otunga and McGillicutty, with CM Punk on commentary and Mason Ryan basically standing behind him doing his "I'm going to be Batista one day" bit. Side note: I love Punk on commentary. Like, I almost wish he hadn't come back to wrestle, because that's how much I enjoy him on commentary, which is a really, really selfish move on my part, isn't it? There's a bit of distraction from Mason Ryan. CM Punk gets in there with a cheap shot to the head of Big Show, and we have new World Tag Team Champions in David Otunga and Mike McGillicutty. The Nexus has some gold in their camp. Isn't it fun? Then they talked about, they've been making a really big deal about this online. There's a painting that's been done. I don't know who's done it, but it's 3 caricatures, and it's supposed to be the poster for Capital Punishment, the next WWE pay-per-view, which will be happening in Washington, D.C. next month. But the painting, or the portrait, or whatever it is Rey Mysterio, John Cena, and Barack Obama. I mean, it's funny, it's comical, it's great for comical value. It's it's another joke by the WWE, I guess. I guess it's gonna, somewhere along the line, it'll become part of the SmackDown Your Vote campaign. But they're making a huge deal about this painting, and I don't get it. Like, it's all over the internet already before Raw even went on, and then they talked about it for like 5 minutes on the show tonight. And then we had a video package of Randy Orton doing an autograph signing in support of his "This Is What I Am" DVD that just came out, which is all good. I mean, the movie, from what I can gather, is all about, anti-bullying, don't pick on people, whatever. And they had a mom there with her kid that's been picked on, and he had a big moment when he met Randy Orton. It's all good. People that shit on wrestling in general need to look at stuff like this that they do, because that's makes you happy to be a wrestling fan, that they're doing shit like that. Kane and the Big Show are being interviewed in the back when we come back from commercial break. They are interrupted by Alberto Del Rio, and then the cameras black out, and we're made to believe that Ricardo Rodriguez hit the Big Show with his car, and he's fucked up his leg or whatever. But it's just not done very well. It's like they're talking, and then the cameras go off, and then there's screeching and honking, and then Big Show's down. It was badly done, even for a WWE backstage promo. And, you know, after that we linger a whole lot just before the break and coming back from the break on this scene that is happening in the back with Kane and the Big Show. Again, something else I'm going to talk about later in the video, but there's that. Jack Swagger and Evan Bourne was the first actual match of the night. I want to say this is a squash match because other than a few brilliant flashes of great high-flying stuff, Swagger destroyed Bourne in this match. But Bourne still looks good. So Bourne is one of those guys that's small, so he's not going to get his own storyline. And Swagger, it seems, is on maybe not quite a face turn, but a less heelish turn, which means we're going to see him more, which is not something I'm really looking forward to. He's awesome in the ring, or he's not awesome in the ring. He's impressive with some of the things he can do in the ring. I don't buy him as a character. I don't care about him as a character. I'd rather see a push like that go to somebody like Evan Bourne. But it is what it is. It was a great match. Like I say, it was kind of a squash for Evan Bourne, and even with that being said, Evan Bourne still looked good. So I come out of this one a happy camper. And, of course, Swagger gets the win, but Bourne gets a last cheap shot in on Swagger, which makes me chuckle. Anyways, after the break, Cole comes out and makes his big, solemn, emo, heartfelt apology to the King and Josh Matthews and the timekeeper and the ring bell person and the crowd and whatever. And Jerry the King Lawler kind of extends the olive branch and says, "All right, come on, come back on commentary with us." There was no coal mine, which is awesome, but Cole joined them on commentary and was kind of a shell of his heelish self that he shed last night, which is fine. Immediately off of that, Miz comes down to the ring to absolutely berate Alex Riley and blame him for all the title opportunities that he has had and missed out on. He then begs and demands the GM for a rematch, and when the rematch is denied, Miz then tries to get in A-Ri's face one more time. Alex Riley finally snaps. This was the most brilliant moment of the night. Alex Riley convincingly and believably tore the shit out of the Miz. I liked it. I do kind of question if this means that Alex Riley is going to SmackDown, because he was sent to SmackDown in the draft, and the only reason he stayed on Raw was because he had the personal services contract with The Miz. But now that The Miz has fired him, I hope he stays on Raw. I hope he has a rivalry with The Miz that pushes him to the stars, because I think it could. Anyways, that being said, we're supposed to have an 8-diva tag match, as the 8 divas, the Bellas and a couple other people versus, like, Eve and a couple other face divas. It's interrupted by Karma, who storms into the ring and stands in the middle of all of them, and you think, alright, this is where it's going to happen. This is where she's just going to take out each and every single one of them all in the ring, all at once. But she just kind of falls down on her knees in the ring and cries and has a little breakdown moment that I don't even understand. There was no explanation given by her, obviously. By the rest of the divas didn't lend any explanation to what was going on. Neither did the announcers. So she just kind of came into the ring and cried, and then they went to commercial break. So if this means they're killing the cutthroat, aggressive, gonna kill everybody persona of Karma, then way to go WWE, you suck. Kofi Kingston versus Drew McIntyre, another match that was just sort of out of the blue and random. It was a good match. Another one like the Bourne Swagger match, where the lighter guy gets owned and looks like he's going to get destroyed throughout the whole match, comes back with his flurries of fast-paced offense. And Kofi wins. He keeps the belt, so that storyline with him with the Intercontinental title, the U.S. title, goes on. But it's one of those, okay, he won by the skin of his teeth, so you think there could be a rivalry there, which is good, because I do not want Drew McIntyre getting lost in the shuffle. Personal opinion of mine. They do. they do on Raw have an amazing video package, amazing video tribute package for Macho Man Randy Savage, which I thought was good. The only thing, I hate to nitpick things, especially when you're paying tribute to somebody who's passed away. I could have chosen better music for it. The video packages with WWE are always great, but they put on some lame Coldplay sounding music. I think it was Coldplay, but whatever. I don't know. It was nice. Obviously, they had to do something. They had dedicated the entire Over the Limit pay-per-view to Macho Man, and plus then to give him the send-off on Raw was great. What surprised me was they didn't do the 10 bells. So if I have to nitpick even further, I wish they had given him the 10 bells. But it's nice nonetheless. The tag match was pretty much what I expected. The team of Truth and Punk, you know I'm pulling for them. I mean, is there any doubt that anybody that's seen any more than one of my videos knows that I want the team of Mysterio and Cena to fall out of the ring? Truth and CM Punk look good throughout the entire match. They look aggressive throughout the entire match. There wasn't any other interference by the Nexus, which I thought was really cool. But they got in Bret Hart's face a couple of times, and finally Bret Hart puts CM Punk in the sharpshooter, setting him up for a leg drop from Rey Mysterio, and that's how the win happens. It was a very... First of all, I don't want Bret Hart on the same team as Cena and Mysterio. Second of all, Cena and Mysterio and Bret Hart are all supposed to be the faces, and they won in a very heelish way. So, much like the pay-per-views, I'm now watching Raw for everything before the main event. Let's just say that. So, that was the show. Now, here we go. Wins, fails, and MVP. First win. Anytime Bret Hart is on a show, you're gonna get a pop from me. That's it. I don't care. Like, he's at that stage now. He's at that Shawn Michaels, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan stage where all he has to do, like Austin, all he has to do is show up. And he'll get a pop. People will love it, no matter what he's actually there to do. So, typical Canadian Bret Hart pop from me. Oh, yes. I'm going to shine the new, I'm not on Aftermath. I'm going to give a win to the new tag team champions from the Nexus, and I'm going to tell you why. Yeah, they won in a heel way, but if the Nexus was going to gain the tag team championships, I'm glad they didn't do it with Mason Ryan and CM Punk. Mason Ryan will go out on his own at some point, much like Ezekiel Jackson is. I'm predicting that. I've been predicting it for a while. CM Punk is an individual. He should not be part of a tag team. And Otunga and McGillicutty haven't done anything else but fight as a team since they've joined this new Nexus. And if you see them in the ring, their attire, the way they tag up, the way they interact with each other, they act more like a tag team. So, A, I'm glad that the Big Slow and Kane don't have the tag team championships anymore, and B, I'm glad that they chose the better half of Nexus to give the tag team titles to. Big Show can sell. It's not very often that I can say, psychology-wise, there's not very much psychology in getting hit by a car, but both before and after the break, the way Big Show moved, the way Big Show tried to put weight on his leg and collapsed, and the way Kane was literally holding him up, he didn't sell in the match at all, but he sold after he was hit by a car. When the entire time Michael Cole was giving his apology to everybody, the entire crowd throughout that entire arena had a "You Suck Toes" chant. So I'm going to give a win to the crowd in wherever the hell they were tonight. I wasn't paying attention. The Alex Riley face turn tonight, or not necessarily face turn, but his breakdown and his total lashing out on The Miz. I'm a big mark for The Miz. You guys all know that. But this was legitimate. It wasn't just like a little protege having a temper tantrum and getting a couple shots in. No. He looked legitimate in how he did his business on The Miz tonight. The last thing I'm going to give a win to is CM Punk in the main event title match tonight. He had his own Macho Man Randy Savage tribute trunks and tribute boots with the bright yellow boots and the bright pink tights. I think it's cool, even though he's in a complete heel role, that he did something that respectful to pay tribute to people that paved the way for him and for everybody else that was there tonight, and so on and so forth. Fail goes to, I talked about Big Show and selling in the wins. For the fail, John Cena coming down in the opening segment trying to sell the way how injured he was from last night's pay-per-view. He was trying to sell. He was kind of not doing a very good job, and he was wearing the title belt too loosely, so it really just looked like he was doing a comedic little duck waddle to the ring. So, selling fail for Cena. Del Rio being very, very inconsistent with his interactions with the Big Show and Kane. Last night at the pay-per-view, when he was out there doing his spiel, all that had to happen was Kane and Big Show had to come to the ring, and they basically stared him out of the ring. Tonight, on Raw, when they were on his car, he didn't mind getting in both of their faces full bore, full volume. This was long before the car scene happened. This was their first interaction. So you want to make it look like Del Rio's a cowardly heel, or make it look like he's actually got some balls. You can't flip-flop, or else there's no consistency, and consistency is what makes the world go round, is it not? And after the car accident scene, we saw the most emo Kane I have ever seen in the WWE, holding Big Show's hand, looking like he was going to give him a hug, looking like he was going to friggin' cry. And yes, I understand. He's your tag team partner. You're going to tend to the needs of your tag team partner. But Kane, whoever the guy that plays Kane is, I can't think of his name right now, oversold it tonight, and oversold to the point where any shred of intimidating integrity he had left went out the window tonight. Which isn't saying much, because you all know my opinion of those two anyway. But he's just looking like he wanted to weep over the Big Show. Took it back to a couple months ago when they first became a team again, and they talked about, you complete me, and it's just really, really awkward. So, super fail on that one. MVP of the night is going to go to Alex Riley. I'm sorry, there's no other new guy in the WWE that made such a surprising, impactful, legitimate, and potentially long-standing impact on a major star on the show as Alex Riley has. The only thing I might be able to compare it to would be Sheamus's first encounters with John Cena, but I don't like either one of them, so I'm not giving them credit. So yeah, Alex Riley is your MVP for the 23rd of May, 2011. I'm Spaz. Subscribe up there. Talk down there. Let me know what you think. It's fucking hot out. I will talk to you later. Bye.